Valentine's Day. But when he spoke to her on the phone, he discovered she was expecting one. Not having time to buy a card on his way home, Mark was in a quandary. Then he looked at the lawnmower trade magazines scattered around the office, and he got an idea. Using scissors and glue, he created a card with pictures of mowers. Sounds really romantic, right? Next to which he wrote, "I long for you, mower and mower each day." Mark's wife loved it. The card immediately graced their refrigerator door. This next one is Check Out Romance. I met my husband while I was working in a science library. He came in every week and read the latest journals, and eventually decided to take out the librarian instead of the books. After a year and a half of dating, he showed up at the library and started rummaging through my desk. I asked what was he looking for, but he didn't answer. Finally, he unearthed one of the rubber stamps that I used to identify reference books. Since I couldn't find the right engagement ring, he said, "This will have to do." And he firmly stamped my hand across my knuckles. In big letters, it read, "Not for The next one is Devoted and Determined. During World War II, my parents had planned a romantic Valentine's Day wedding. Suddenly, my father, then stationed at Camp Edwards in Massachusetts, received orders and prepared to ship out. All leaves were canceled. Being a young man in love, he went AWOL. He and my mother were married 4 days earlier than originally planned, and he returned to base to an angry sergeant. After hearing the explanation, the sergeant understandably replied, "Okay, okay." Then as an afterthought, he said, "But don't let it happen again." Making the grade. My high school English teacher was well known for being a fair but hard grader. One day, I received a B- on a theme paper. In hopes of getting my grade, and in the spirit of Valentine's season, I sent her an extravagant heart-shaped box of chocolates with the pre-printed inscription, "Be mine." The following day, I received in return a valentine from the teacher. It read, "Thank you, but it's still B-." This is a sexy nightgown, but just be calm. The lingerie store where my aunt works was crowded with shoppers selecting Valentine's Day gifts for their wives. A young businessman came to the register with a lacy black negligee. My aunt noticed that the next customer, an elderly farmer, and he was holding a long flannel nightgown, but he kept glancing at the young man's sexier choice. When it was his turn, the farmer placed the nightgown on the counter and asked, "Would you happen to have this in black flannel?" Understanding gender differences. A Spanish teacher was explaining to her class that in Spanish, unlike English, nouns are either masculine or feminine. House, for instance, la casa. Pencil, however, is el lápiz. Forgive me, Julie. A student asked, "What gender is a computer?" Instead of giving the answer, the teacher split the class into two groups, male and female, and asked them to decide for themselves whether computers should be masculine or feminine. Each group was asked to give 4 reasons for its recommendation. The men's group decided that computer should definitely be of the feminine gender, la computadora, because 1, no one but their creator understands their internal logic. 2, the native language they use to communicate with other computers is incomprehensible to everyone else. 3, even the smallest mistakes are stored in long-term memory for possible later retrieval. And number 4, as soon as you make a commitment to one, you find yourself spending half your paycheck for accessories for it. The women's group, however, concluded that computers should be masculine, el computador, because in order to do anything with them, you have to turn them on. 2, they have to have a lot of data, but they still can't think for themselves. 3, they are supposed to help you solve problems, but half the time are the problem. And 4, as soon as you commit to one, you realize that if you'd waited just a little longer, you could have gotten a better model.